The plan today is to return my Ford GT to its former glory and see how much of the wrap we can save in the process. Hi guys, I'm Shmee, hello and welcome back to the channel. You join me of course here at the Shmuseum, back in the cold in the United Kingdom, but after having this car wrapped for about the last 4 or 5 months, all part of supporting charity, it's time to bring back the Alan Mann spec, the red and gold, and that means being joined by Dub Customs to peel it back and see if we can get this car fully unwrapped. This has been the most ridiculously polarizing thing that I have ever done with a car. People have loved it, some people have definitely hated it, but all part of the Hyper Pop project with Lhouette, Wycliffe Galleries and supporting Calm, the mental health charity. The plan though is to see if we can transform it back to its original look. Now, remember the roof box was on the top for the adventure down to Spain. Got some other plans with that we will touch on in a moment, but peeling this back, considering the car has PPF, has done thousands of miles, and we want to try and preserve it, is going to be an interesting challenge. The other thing, once we have Alan Mann back, remember that's what the factory, Multimatic, actually called this car when it was being assembled, the Alan Mann car with the red and gold stripes. My plan is to see if we can get all the Fords together. The GT500, the Focus RS, we also over there have the Mach-E GT, the Transit Custom MSRT is outside, and the GT, the supercar, the hot hatch, the muscle car, the electric SUV, and the transit van, all for a photo. That's going to involve some logistics later on. Into the storage room, because we might have done something a little bit silly here. The roof box is in the lookout, and the lookout is only slightly sketchy. Bear with me, let me head up here, see what I can do. Oh yeah, there it is. You're gonna have to pass the camera up to me in a second to show you this. Come with me guys, come up here, see if we can do this. Come and take a look, because up here we have the roof box that we wrapped with Dub Customs to match the car, which I'm going to keep like this. That's going to stay wrapped. I don't know what I'm going to do with it in the future. Under the wrap, it's actually painted in blue electrico to match the SF90 Stradale. The view from up here is always really cool. That looks awesome. Anyway, that's going to stay here for the time being, I think. To make this a little bit easier, it's not going to be the easiest car to unwrap with the buttresses and everything like that. We're going to pull it out into the middle of the room, which of course means unplugging the C-Tech. We have the smart charger, the quick connector release. Pop that over to the side for the moment. Unlock the car, go and get this started and pull it into the middle of the garage. It always does that. The Clio V6 is a fussy one, and when you start a loud car, that goes off. Obviously this has the Quicksilver exhaust that we installed on it. It's not the loudest thing in the world, but it's clearly loud enough that it decides to send the little Clio crazy, and that just tells us it needs to be driven. The car needs a run out. Any excuse is a good excuse, but let's get it back to red and gold first. It's all happening now. Brad is currently fixing the front splitters back on the GT8. You're right down there.
Very good. On this lovely, well, it's your lovely towel.
My lovely Hello Kitty
blanket.
Rug. That's a different story. Those were off because my dad actually recently borrowed that car while I was away. We're joined as well by Dan from Dub. How you doing?
Yeah, good.
Ready to start working on this?
Yeah.
Do you have a plan of action?
We're just going to wing it at the minute, so literally
wing it.
So we'll see, because obviously we've got a plan to de-wrap the wrap and put it onto a canvas, and obviously it depends on what size we
see what we can save effectively.
Well, hopefully we can save a lot of it so it can be reused and made into more.
So I have a question. Obviously this car is PPF'd on top of the paint.
Yeah.
How much of an impact does that have to removing the wrap?
Not at all.
Just got to be delicate with it.
Yeah, we've obviously got a lot of experience with removing wrap on PPF, as we had with your GTR.
Yeah, way back.
So yeah, we know it comes off fine.
It's just going to be a lot of complicated shapes to have to work with. Wing it. Let's see where we end up. Obviously the different elements of this, and some things, for example, obviously we want to make sure we can preserve the front of it and save as much of the artwork as possible for future purposes. Some liquid red returning. That seems to come off okay.
Yeah.
But this is where I know, because I've tried in the past, it's about having the delicate touch with it, because I would just pull it too fast and it would make a total mess.
So you could be nice and careful and slow. A bit of heat on there just to make it a bit supple.
Yeah.
And it comes off nice.
Magic. Right. The transition begins. Splitters all done.
Complete.
It's funny because they make a big difference to the appearance. I've actually driven this car without these and with them back to back on the Autobahn, and the difference it made was huge in terms of how it feels at the front end. Obviously, when you're going faster, it gets a lot lighter if they're not installed. The problem with them is that if you want to go around and just drive the car normally, encounter some speed bumps and good luck to you. These are kind of in the way, so back on, because they always look amazing like that, obviously matching, working with the wing at the back, but for, let's say, some regular driving and actually using, as my dad has been with it, yeah, not the best. Crazy to think that's actually now, that car's coming up to 7 years old in a month or two. Well, this is cool. Saving bits of wrap. I quite like the shapes and the cutouts. We're joined as well by Ben from Wycliffe Galleries.
Hello. Hi, Tim.
The man in charge of what's next with all of this. Just go bit by bit and see what we can save and see what you guys can pull together with it.
Yeah, we're excited to see how it comes off the car and what we can do next.
It's going to be pretty good fun. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm actually impressed by this, and I love this colour. I have missed it, I've got to be honest. I've missed the liquid red. These are the bits that I haven't even seen before. We had Dumbo underneath the rear wing, and Terry's also working on the mirror. This is like the delicately does it. All seems to leave the PPF on fine, and doesn't leave any glue residue or mess either. Nice!
Wouldn't it be
Easy.
nice if you could just go and it would just...
Do that again. Yeah, just... It's not working, Brad. It's not working.
I'm just taking this little guy off of here.
Yeah, easy peasy. And if you're interested, from having the suction mounts on the roof, you can see the circles here where it's pulled at the material a little bit, and obviously created the rings, and that's what meant I had to put it back in exactly the same position after the SOC event. The thing I'm curious about, though, is whether the PPF has the same marks on it underneath, and therefore I might need a new panel of PPF over the roof, but we shall see once this has been removed shortly. That's coming off okay. Is it a problem that it's kind of cold in here, or is it okay?
A little bit.
But the heat gun...
Heat guns help it well.
Magic. Magic. Nice. It's that easy, right?
Yeah.
Terry's like, no. No. Powering up the process here. Getting that rear wing up. Nice. That is a really nice colour, if I can say so
It's
myself.
beautiful, isn't it? Yeah.
It's really, really nice.
Reminds me of the red of the TVR.
Yeah, it's very similar. A lot of people ask me about that. That is, of course, your car that's been resident here for a while.
It has a bit too long, isn't it?
No, it's all right.
Well,
It's a pretty thing to look at.
I do miss it. We do need to get back on the road and
Get driving.
Start driving it. Yeah, that's it.
Brad just pointed out something really quite exciting. So I had to run up to the collectibles room, which is where all of my swatches are, including the new Simpsons collaboration with the donut, because we have the donut on the Ford GT, and I hadn't even thought about that. But that's quite a fun little link, little touch. Very cool.
Gold is being revealed. This is like the first proper pass of the stripe.
So it comes off slowly, but we're getting there.
Slow and steady wins the race.
That's it.
That's the most important thing, I think, with this.
Exactly.
So you're getting involved, Tim?
I'm trying. And you know that the bit I do is the bit that's going to go wrong.
Of course. That is always how it works.
But slow and steady. Watch out for edges. Don't want to lift any PPF with it. While amazing progress is happening with this, I want to come and show you something. Something you might have spotted. Come over here and take a look at what we have right here. This is the Oracle Red Bull Racing eScooter, the RBS01. This is really quite something. Worked on for over 2,500 hours by 16 members of the team, and the ethos of the championship winning F1 team to create a carbon fiber electric scooter, 750 watt motor, 80 Newton meters of torque out of this thing, 20 mile an hour speed, 40 mile range, and I think that we should go and give this a little go. You can turn it on and even have a few different speed settings. We're currently indoors. We might need to go outside to do this safely. But I mean, look at it. Carbon fiber deck, oversized so it's stable to ride on. Construction pretty much inspired by F1 levels of tech. But let's come out and give this a go. Wish me luck. Let's get some move on. Rock and roll. This is genuinely epic. The sun's come out as well. Normally a scooter would have a steel frame. This is made from carbon fiber. Clearly the dogs here on the farm like it as well. That's a whole lot of fun. Looks the part. The design inspired by the Oracle Red Bull Racing F1 car. The team spent a lot of time on it. And I'm having a lot of fun blasting around with it. And then when you park it back up, we've got the kick down stand. We've also got a light at the front, double press, turns on the light. Plus, around at the back, there's a brake light. And when you hold the brake, that actually blinks as well. It's a super cool piece of design, full carbon fiber construction, handlebar, all of this, the way this is crafted, the way it's created, the way it's painted, the way it's put together. So a big thanks to the team for supplying this to go and have a blast around the farm with. I'll pop the link with more information about it down below if you're interested in the Oracle Red Bull Racing RBS 01 e-scooter. Meanwhile over here, I knew the glass would have another purpose, as well as being opaque like this, hiding what's in the lounge right now. We also have some of these larger parts. The problem is like this, when it goes back on itself, you're never gonna get that unstuck, which is why we need big space to ensure that these stay out, stay safe, stay looked after for the time being. Oh, that's quite fun, around the exhaust tailpipes. I like that. Whoa, 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 slow down, this is happening too quickly. Out of nowhere, done. The guys with the plan. Look at that, the red with the gold stripes. God, the paint on this car is beautiful. Such a nice spec, if I can say so myself. Well, we are joined now also by Lhouette, who has managed to pick up some boards that we are using to basically mount all of these on so that they can be kept on their own. Because as I mentioned earlier, as soon as they fold back on themselves, you effectively have a problem that you'll never be able to unstick them without tearing it all. So it's quite important to make sure that they sit and aren't going to ruin each other before the artwork process can begin. As if by magic, Eric, you don't need to go back to pretending you're working. You've proven it, you've done the front.
Front end's all done.
Just like, boom, Brad, this was your click.
That's it, yeah. Clap your hands.
Done.
Finished.
Whole front end. There are just some like tiny bits like this that sometimes you have to go around and try and get. There's minor bits. Yes, we can open the back. I've got the key. That'll make it easier. Oh yeah, technically we need to unwrap the key as well because the key has the wrap around the edge of it. That ridiculously generous luggage space that you have back there in the Ford GT, which is why we had the Roofbox.
Yep.
Go away for 2 weeks with that. Yeah. Easy.
Just your underwear, I think that's it.
Yeah, just a few changes of underwear and a toothbrush.
Yeah.
Done. While the guys are cracking on with that, we have a visitor that you might be able to hear. Welcome, Adam.
Hello.
Welcome, that sounds cool.
First time here.
Your first time finally coming to visit.
Yeah, it's been a while. I've got my most showy car.
It sounds amazing. But you didn't set off any car alarms.
No, I might as well go home now.
This looks awesome. It looks really good under the lights in here.
I thought this is the shiniest of the cars.
Welcome.
And I've literally today got it back from Total Headturners who have made it work again. It's been about 2 years it's been running rough. It's a carburetted car, it's had a few errors in its time. I took it to Le Mans, broke down on the Mulsanne straight on the way back from Le Mans. That cost me $1,000.
That's a pretty cool story.
It is a cool story.
To have broken down.
It was, yeah.
There.
It's a bit of a sad story because what it was, all the luggage in the back knocks the isolator switch, and then that fried all the electrics and everything because it was all working off the oscillator, and no French place could really fit me in. And my girlfriend had a work appointment to get back, so I paid a friend £1,000 to come that night to collect me. We just got a hotel and enjoyed our night, and then he drove through the night. But now it's working again.
Stressful.
And this has always been my dream car.
Yeah.
I think it's because my initials are AC. So when I was a kid, I was looking through the car books, like, oh, AC Cobra, that's my car.
Yeah, I can see that.
And when it's not an original. It's a recreation, a replica by Dax. But when I was a kid, I thought a Cobra was a kit car. I thought that's what a Cobra is. So I dreamed of having a Cobra kit car, and voila. And you were actually there when I first revealed the car.
Like 5 and a bit years ago.
Yeah, it was a long time ago at Goodwood when I revealed the car at a Saywell track day, and you featured it in the video congratulating me, and now here I am with it again. I keep my cars, I don't tend to get rid of
I've had a fair few of my cars for a while.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm just noticing though? How similar is the colour on this to that?
This is a Ford Imperial Blue.
Okay.
But there are 3 different shades of Imperial Blue. So I have had it next to a Focus RS before and it's been different.
Yeah. That's one of those nightmares with colours because they often reuse the same colour names and then you look back at it a few years later and it's like, that's different. In fact, when I was painting the GT Black series, there are even 2 different AMG solar beams.
Really?
From different years.
Black and then...
It changed at some point and they probably just reformulated the paint slightly and I had to choose which one to go for.
Right.
And it was literally a flip a coin job. And then finally, when I put this alongside an SLS Black Series, an original one, it was the same colour. So I was like, phew, have a big breath.
Yeah, but this... I've got some touch in paint that's slightly different, but you're going to notice stone chips.
Yeah, a small little one. So you've never gone down the PPF route?
No, I like stone chips. It tells a story. Like even I've got like scratches on the front on the number plate as well.
Yeah, that
was a car reversing into me then doing a runner. But I found the security footage from the restaurant that I was parked at up in the Peak District. I didn't do anything about it, but I've got that shot of a Dacia up onto my car.
Oh no!
But it tells a story. So it's got a few marks around it. It's missing the grille in here and but
true.
I drive it. I do about 3,000 miles a year in it, maybe 4,000.
Which is actually quite challenging considering you're fully open to the elements.
Yes.
It's not an easy car to drive either. It's
in the winter it's a 7-layer car. I've got the appropriate aviator jacket.
Yep.
But you do kind of drive like quite stiff with all the layers. But today it's not that cold, so it's been all right.
Yeah, it's a beautiful day outside now. It wasn't so beautiful earlier, but right now the sun's out and it's looking lovely.
It's good, yeah.
It's also tiny, by the way.
It is. It's about MX-5 sized.
Yeah.
It feels a lot bigger inside because you're sat quite low down and you've got feel like you've got a lot of space around you. But it's about the size of an MX-5, which is, I don't like big cars, even though I've got a 4-door Japanese barge, the Chaser. But it's a good size to it. It's also missing the rear quick jacks because they stick out a bit much, and when I load it on the trailer they would ground out.
Yeah.
That's part of it.
Yeah, part and parcel. Well, I love it.
Thank
I actually have cravings for something like this.
Well, I
like,
can
mix
see
it up a bit.
Or maybe a GT4C, because you've got the GT.
I know, right?
Yeah.
a GT40 recreation of some description would fit right in with some of the other things around here. Ford in America.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Ford van outside.
The pink thing, yeah. Talking of Ford, this is what, especially, sorry to the American audience, this has a Chevy lump in it. Yeah.
I'm exiting.
Yeah.
See you, Adam.
This happens a lot.
See you later.
I'll show it.
Yeah.
So at least it's not a Rover V8. That's what my TVR had, but it's got a Chevy 350.
Okay.
They're more easily obtainable, more easy to get parts for, easily tunable. It's a high revving, small block, about 350 brake horsepower, 350 foot-pounds of torque. And it goes well enough. Like literally today in the cold air, I was first time driving with running hot. I was all over the place. Obviously, in a dream scenario, I'd have a Ford 427 in there, but then it'd be a bit more nose heavy. I bought the car with the engine. It's second best, but it gets a lot of complaints because people are very passionate about Ford versus Chevy. It's like Man U versus whatever Man U are against these days.
That was a great analogy to come from somebody who is not a football fan, clearly.
I think it's Man City, they're at the top now. Chelsea, I don't know.
We'll leave it there.
Tottenham versus West
Arsenal.
Ham.
Tottenham versus Arsenal, we'll go with that.
Let's go with that, yeah. There's a passion there, especially in the States.
There are lots of very passionate topics in the States as well,
yes.
but we won't go into those in detail right now.
It's almost like Ford versus Ferrari as well.
Yeah.
So this creates a stir, but it still goes well.
Love it.
I couldn't tell you any performance figures like 0 to 60 top speed because it's not a stock car.
It's not about, and this is actually what I'm starting to appreciate more and more. So many of these supercars have become incredibly fast.
Yeah.
Have you ever been in an SF90, for example?
Not being an SF90, no.
It's stupid.
Yeah.
It's absolutely stupid, and it becomes almost irrelevant because you can't drive that.
No.
You
I've
can't.
always said that it's about the experience. It's not about the figures.
Yeah.
Like this, with no roof, and you're sat low, and you've got the side pipes right next to you. You've got the sound, and it does go quickly. That's an experience, and I would much rather have this than like maybe a hot hatch that's probably as quick as it, or maybe quicker off of the line. But then you're just driving with panels, and it's not quite as
different
enjoyable.
things. It's like I love my Clio V6 for similar reasons. It's stupid and just fun to drive and wins. But welcome to the barn. Sorry.
Yes.
We'll go have a little look around, and I want to see how.
It looks similar to how it looks online. Just
Funny that.
A bit more. It's a bit bigger in person, I think.
Yeah.
I don't know if have you heard all the ones before. It's bigger than I thought it was. Or or it's, I don't know.
Gosh, there are jokes you could make about that phrase. Anyway.
Oh, there's always jokes. There's always jokes. It's
No,
not
it's
about
good.
its size though. It's how you make up for the. I don't know.
Yeah,
No,
the kind of
it's
like the racetrack vibe.
the racetrack vibe. I've just bought a place of my own, and my plan was to have rumble strips on the
Yeah.
driveway. Now I can't do that because
Stolen your thunder.
It's been stolen.
Hey, no, I got inspired by other places.
Yeah.
I went to visit a collection in Switzerland that had a similar type setup.
Okay.
That was a big part of it.
Yeah.
And a couple of other places I've seen around the world with that theme. At the end of the day, so many of these cars have motorsport integral in their reasons for existence, right? Their history, the stories behind the manufacturers. So bringing a motorsport vibe to a garage,
Yes,
I know one can be
definitely.
offended by that.
I've always, for me, I film a lot of Japanese cars, JDM
Yeah.
modified scene, but my personal passion is Le Mans cars and endurance races. So like from the early Bentley blowers to the Cobras, the Daytonas, and then up to the F1s, 4GCs. 2018 was my first time at Le Mans.
Yeah.
I took this with my dad, and it was an amazing trip. And then I think it was the second year, because I think 2017 was the debut.
16 was the year they won,
okay. And then, the 4GC was there, and then you got the Aston, the Porsche Pink Pig, that won their class that year. So that was just such a good year and a good memory, and I've since taken it to the Classic, and then that went wrong. But I'd like to go to
You'll do
Le
it
Mans.
again?
Yeah, let's go Le Mans next
Do it again, it will go right next time.
Definitely.
That's more what I was expecting from the wrap. That's where it's become a little bit more challenging.
I'm not going to say that this strictly was going to be an easy job, but it's when you've got the cold, it's quite cold.
Yeah.
In there. If you haven't got the heat gun on it will do.
Gets
that.
more brittle.
But we'll try and save as much as we can on that door.
Well, we've saved so much of it, which is the amazing thing. Obviously, the different patterns, different textures and areas around the car, but coming together very nicely. What's the news? What's the news?
Some rings in the...
Yeah, let's see. What's it like? Nothing. Nothing at all.
Nothing.
That's amazing. So that's just because this is effectively laminated.
Yeah.
This is the print with a laminate on top. I thought I'd have to redo the PPF on the roof of this.
Not a single ring.
Amazing. Absolutely amazing. Cool. And we might be able to get this off in one piece. That's your challenge, Kerry. All off in one piece. That is the roof panel. You got it? I'm stuck to it. Roof panel removed. Lovely. Absolutely lovely. And nearly there as well.
One stripe.
Stripes back. This is pretty exciting to see everything. I've got to ask, do you have the plan in mind for what you're doing with this?
Yeah, kind of. I kind of plan. I think we're going to get some of this stuff back to the studio. I'm going to have a proper play. I've got some ideas, yeah, but it's exciting because it's another process to this whole project. So
It's like an extra dimension because I love having the piece up on the wall over there, which is kind of, I guess, earlier stage. But now comes the transition of what was on the car into something that can be created with.
yeah, there's been so many little steps and processes and transitions, and this is just another exciting little aspect, I think, to the project. So we're getting back to the studio, get some eyes on them. I'll have a proper play. So, pretty cool.
Go from there. I love it because people often ask me when I've unwrapped a car if they could do something with some of the material. This is like the ultimate rendition of that because the material will become art. I mean, it is art. It will become more art, and that's super exciting.
Well, it's just that it's recontextualized again. It's going to be even more abstracted and fractured, and so every step of the way something different changes, or a different aspect, or a different format, or a different type of medium. So it's really cool to be following the whole process. So.
I love it. The cogs are turning. Ideas are forming. We've all come to take a look at the TVR.
Yeah.
I'm a TVR man. I've had a TVR. My dad had a TVR. I've always been TVR man, and I like it. I see it in the background of all the videos. I'm like, who is that? Because I don't know if it was mentioned in any of the videos at all. I didn't know.
A little bit, vaguely. But given I get asked about it all the time, I think you need to tell us a little bit about it.
Right. Well, I've owned it for a while now. Initially, I wanted to sort of do it to my spec, so we ended up taking the body off. Apparently there's 21 bolts on this, and I should know this, but it's years ago. There's 21 bolts to hold the body down, took the body off, fully cleaned it, nut and bolt back together. It's done 9,000 miles, so it's like literally pristine.
It's not a lot.
But I've hardly used it since. Obviously, it's been here for about a year, isn't it? So,
Yeah.
But yeah, candy apple red.
The paint is beautiful.
Yeah.
Is it a TVR colour?
No, it's candy apple red. They did do this in the production, the pre-production Sagres.
Yeah.
Was in this
I know
colour.
Yeah, I know the one.
But yeah, this is.
Did you redo interior stuff?
Yeah, so we've done the interior as well, black and white. And yeah, as I said, it's like 9,000 miles.
These things are like super quirky. You know, people don't realise that the door handles, the button is underneath the door mirror.
Yeah, to get out of it, there's a little button next to the radio.
Like
so,
you'd just be trapped in there. People think Senna doors are hard to work out. This thing's a different league, so I'm squeezing around towards the front.
It's currently disconnected, but to get to the petrol cap, you have to open the glass boot, get inside, and there's a lever, and you
Really?
pull the lever, and then it reveals the.
Oh, they just made it easy for you.
Oh yeah.
It's also incredibly low to the ground.
Yeah.
Like it basically sits down.
It's really low.
It smells like a TVR.
Yeah.
Smell like leather smell and glue, isn't it? Leather and glue.
You see it, smell it, and
Yeah, there's not, in terms of any other modifications, the only other thing that's not standard is this, that we put on.
what's normally there?
It's just normally just like a couple little grommets and that's it, and the button does that, and there's a little recess here that you can get your finger in to open it,
Okay.
but we smooth that off, give it a nice sort of clean look.
Okay,
So,
makes sense.
Yeah.
So it's a cool thing. You tempted, Adam?
I would like another TVR. I don't know which one it would be. There's so many out there, and they all look beautiful and they sound amazing. You've got the straight sixes, the V8s, and it's. But I don't know, Dodge Viper or TVR. It's weighing up which plastic bodies.
Well, I'm a TVR guy.
Yeah.
Now's your sales pitch.
Yeah.
We've also got a few other ones as well, so we've got Tuscan and a Tamora as well, so we just love TVRs. So,
Well, it looks cool. I guess it's not going to be here forever, but it's a welcome guest for the time being.
that's it. I appreciate it being
It's
here.
a pleasure.
Yeah.
In the meantime, the GT is done. All done? Tidying up? Finished, packed up, last bits of glue residue cleaned up, looking beautiful, if I could say so myself. This thing is stunning. This thing is absolutely stunning.
I know you've said it yourself, and you know you've bigged up yourself for your spec. It is a very pretty car. Like you don't really need to say much, just that.
Just look at it.
Look at it.
It's so cool. Even with a cloth on the window and a cable dangling out, which you can get rid of, it still looks really cool. It's got a Shmoo the Cow air freshener inside, available in the Shmee 150 eBay shop as well, by the way. Quick shout out. That is a nice looking car, and it looks at home on the racetrack, on the barn track.
Massively. When's this next going to go out to the Nürburgring? Obviously the Nürburgring right now is closed for season, but when is that next going to go around?
I've done a bunch of laps with it over the years. It's been quite a few times. I gather there might be a track outing with it very soon.
Yeah, I've heard something about that.
Very soon.
Exciting.
We'll leave it there. We'll leave it there. But it might involve this and maybe something else. Vague and confusing. Time to head onwards. Wrapped up warm.
Oh, gloves.
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 The SF90 just decided to charge and run the fans. It does that.
Yeah. These are part of the outfit and also essential.
Yeah.
They look. I'm a fighter pilot.
Yeah, they fit in perfectly.
They do.
Now, to explain this a little bit more, this is obviously the cooling fans when that car is charging. I don't think I've heard the 296 do it. I think only the SF90 does it. But for a brief period, it runs a little bit aggressively until this is going to dominate the sound waves.
If I can find the key. Keys.
Got the key? Got your Ford key?
I've got the Ford. It's got a Ford logo on it. It is a Ford.
With a Chevy motor that was an AC, not a Ford.
That's the one. This comes from a Sierra. Oh, immobiliser as well. There we go.
Well, you got silence for it now.
Silence in the room.
Yes! Power. Harnesses.
Probably one of the lowest power cars in the room. One of the lowest power.
One of. Have you?
350 brake horsepower, if anyone's interested.
There's quite a lot in here that's got a lot less than 350.
I suppose actually.
There's like a 70 horsepower Clio over there.
Forgot about that.
It's been fun. Thank you for stopping by.
Very much.
Safe travels.
See you soon.
Lovely.
Bye-bye.
It's time to bring in the troops. First up, the magenta, telemagenta, Ford Transit Custom MSRT. That's gonna go somewhere at the back, and Brad's gonna need my help. We're gonna line up the cars somehow around here. Let's see how this goes, bear with me. The near silence of the Mackie GT with the beeping. Because you might not hear it, right? That's next. GT500 time. Nice. We've got a big mix of engines here. We've got the 4-cylinder, the V8, no engine, the diesel, the V6. Right, let's pull this to the front. Onto the Focus RS. There we go. Bang on cue. Right, let's get that off the Benpack Auto Stacker. And the resulting lineup, I would say, is pretty cool. There we go. 5 very different Fords, staggered, and an XJ220S poking through at the back, and some cardboard boxes around. But that's cool. That is very much Skittles. Technically, the Mackie GT is orange, but it's very yellow when you compare it to the Focus RS. So we've got the pink, green, orange, yellowy orange, and the red. That's a cool view. That's a very cool view. But now to move them all again and do a different photo. Magic. Everything is in a different place. The lineup. And the quite fun thing about this lineup, well, firstly, the different purposes of the cars. Secondly, an interesting design detail that is actually consistent through the entire range of the cars here. So obviously at the end, we've got the work van, the practical tradesman's machine. Next to that, we've got your family electric SUV. Then we move to the slightly less practical, but still practical fun daily. We've then got the weekend car, if you want to go out for a nice drive, the 2-seat Mustang that makes a whole lot of noise. And if you're going to the racetrack, we've got the supercar. And I love that the Ford lineup, the portfolio of cars, features such a different variety. The interesting thing with the design though, look at the grills, and we start here. You've got this upper line, and then it shoots out towards the side, and you also have this swoosh around on the outside. Come through, grill, shoots out, down towards the side, and you've also got a swoosh out around from there. Comes the Focus RS, again, exactly the same, and the swoosh out. Even the Mackie GT has this same upper edge, goes down and shoots out around on the bumper, and even on the van, you've got that same grille, you've got these same kind of styling cues down at the bottom, and I think that's really cool. I know these are cars from, well, they're all from the last 5 or 6 years. Actually, technically, the Ford GT is the oldest, because that was launched back in 2015, so that's now 8 years old. But that design familiarity is across the board. Not necessarily the same over here, but I tell you what, I can now scoot back past the entire lineup of cars on this amazing thing. Hey, I'm not complaining when the garage is big enough that I need to take a scooter to get from one side to the other. That's a whole lot of fun. That took a lot longer than was probably necessary to line up all of the cars, but it's pretty cool, if you ask me. That's a pretty cool little view. Obviously, they're in height order, but also the height order kind of directly correlates with the use order from infrequent use all the way through to most frequent at the far end. Yeah, what an amazing time. And what a cool project, honestly, it's been with the Ford GT. I know, and I said it earlier, not to everyone's taste. I know some people hated the fact that we covered this up, but look at what we've got back now. The liquid red, the Alan Mann gold stripes on it. This car, like, it's the ultimate Shmeemobile, if you ask me. It's not the fastest. It's not even the most expensive. It's not the top trumps winner. What it is a car with such an emotional story connected to it, both its existence in the first place and my connection to it, and what I've done with it. And there's going to be so much more in the future as well, which I'm super excited about. So a big thanks to everybody who came down today, to Dub Customs for doing the unwrap work, to Wycliffe Galleries, to Lhouette. Also great to see AdamC to come by as well with his car to come and visit the Shmuseum at long last. And yeah, I think we should probably wrap up today. So if you're interested in this, I'm going to pop the link down below to find out a little bit more. But yeah, what a good day. So thank you as always to you guys. I appreciate your support an awful lot. Stay tuned for plenty more coming very soon. But that's it for now, and I'll see you then. Cheers.